Hi children, welcome back to my class. So today we are going to see grammar, okay? So you know it by that name, right? So when you write something, what are the things that you see in that? We use words, isn't it? First thing we check is whether it is neatly presented. Then we will check whether the spellings are correct. Then we will check whether the sentence formation is correct. Isn't it? When you're writing a paragraph, all these days we were discussing about descriptive writing. So when you're writing a descriptive paragraph, we see for the words in it. What are the words that we have used in it, whether those words are correct. So these sentences, paragraph, words, everything, they are framed because of these words, isn't it? So what are these words actually? So we say it like we refer to it as a grammar. But do you know what is a grammar actually? What is the exact name given for that? So today we will see that, okay? So to write something, we need words that are very much important, which gives meaning to that, isn't it? Without meaning, you cannot understand what is being done. So the main name given for this grammar is nothing but parts of a speech, okay? Now you know what is the meaning of part, you know what is the meaning of speech. Now what is a speech? Speech is something that we speak, isn't it? When you speak to your parents, when you speak to your friends, whomever it is, you speak. How do you speak? You speak through your mouth. You use language for that, isn't it? Language can be any language. It can be English, it can be Tamil, it can be Malayalam, whatever it is, Hindi. Every language has got this parts of a speech. Parts of a speech are very important, and without this, a language is not meaningful. So as I said you before, you use words to frame sentences, and this sentences frames the paragraph. So what are these words actually? These words are being divided as parts of the speech. This comes under parts of the speech. So today we will see what are they, and we are not going to learn all the parts of the speech. Actually there are 8 parts of the speech. Today and tomorrow we'll see just the two parts of the speech that is very much important in descriptive writing. Obviously all the parts of the speech are there, and even without your knowledge you include that. You don't know which part of a speech that is, but you are using it in your daily life. Now we are going to specify what it is actually, okay, so that your writing skill improves a lot. So the first part of a speech is noun, the second one is adjective, the third one is verb, fourth one is adverb, fifth one is pronoun, sixth one is preposition, the next one is conjunction, that is the seventh one, and the last and the eighth one is interjections. So these are the words. These have got some words inside it. Okay, these are the words that we use to communicate. Actually, we don't know that what are they. Actually, because you are small kids, you don't know which is a noun in that, which is adjective in that, which is a verb in that. But we use it. Understood? So when you speak without these parts of a speech, you cannot speak, you cannot write, you cannot read. These are the basic of a language. Without this, a language is not meaningful. So today we will be seeing noun. Okay, we will be seeing what is a noun, different types of noun, and what is the work that you have to do in today's class. So noun is nothing but it is a name of a person, place, animal, things, and ideas. Okay, so noun is nothing but when you give a name to a person, when you give a name to a place, animal, things, and ideas, it becomes noun. Now you will be clear with this, like name of a person, place, animal, things. But what about ideas? How can you name an idea? Let us see. So here this is an example. I have given more examples for it. Now let us check the first example. So under person I have specified a name like Joe, teacher, cook, child. So these are the different names that we specify a person with, right? Next, if you see a place, it's lake, Africa, store, home. These are all the places. Things, if you see, it is phone, desk, tree, car. And the last one, an idea. Idea, here you have to be very careful. Ideas are something that we have in our mind. We think, right? So the thought we have in our mind is an idea. Success. So you plan for your success, whatever it is, whether it is short term, long term, whatever things you achieve in your life, that is an idea. Because of an idea, you have got that. Without idea, you cannot achieve it. Next is peace. Peace is something that you have within you, isn't it? So that is an idea and that is a noun. So when you think something in your mind, that automatically becomes a noun. So I think you are clear with here. We will see more examples. So here you can see there are two pictures given. You can see I have specified different nouns. If you see here, I have given person, place, then places, things, ideas. So under persons there are doctor, man, custodian, dancer, Shelley, actress, athlete, girl, waiter. So all these are name of a person. How do we call them? Now if you see places, there is a country, hospital, museum, beach, city, bank, school, everything. That becomes a place. And things like pencil, chair, books, whatever you see around you, that is a thing. You use it in your daily life, that is a thing. So all this comes under noun. Ideas, here you can take the reference here: neatness, loyalty, honesty, bravery, generosity, sadness, peace, anger, love, everything is inside us. So whatever you cannot see, actually these are the things that you cannot see in someone, you can feel it. So that feeling is called as an idea which goes in our mind, that is a noun. Here another examples are there for person, place, animal and thing. You can take a look in that. Now you have seen what is a noun. Actually noun is nothing but a name. Okay, whenever something someone is asking you what is a noun, you just should not say it is a person, place. It's not just a person, place, it's a name given to them. That name becomes a noun. Okay, now if you take noun, nouns are of two types. One is a proper noun, the other one is common noun. Now the examples you have seen here, there were some names in that and there were some common things in that. So when you don't specify a name for a person, that becomes a common noun. You can see an example. Generally we say like a teacher, a boy, a man, all that becomes a common noun, because I didn't say who is that. I just said teacher, I just said a boy, I just said a man. And if I'm telling girl, that is also common noun, because there is no name given to them. But a proper noun is nothing but when you specify the name of a person, when you specify a name of a thing, place, idea, all that becomes the proper noun. Properly we are I'm just specifying that, pointing that person alone. If I'm telling any teacher's name, for example if I say Priya, she's a woman and she's a teacher, so I'm calling her alone. I didn't say teacher. Now I said Priya is a teacher. So if I say Amitav is a boy, I'm telling only Amitav's name there. So that becomes a proper noun. So proper noun is nothing but when the name is given in a specific manner, that becomes a proper noun. So this is a small game where you have to list the nouns you know. Like you can divide it as a person, place, animal, things and ideas. You can put a table like this. You can draw a table in a chart paper or in your notebook, and you can start collecting the names of those things I have given here. Like person, you can write a common or a proper noun here. You yourself will know the difference when you start writing. And places, the places you have visited before, the places that you want to visit, or the places which is your favorite one, that you can specify here. The same way for animal, things and ideas, you can do that. It is a small game. And the next work you have to do is, in today's classes, you have to underline the common noun in the given sentence. Okay, there are sentences given, and from that sentence read a sentence and identify which is the common noun here. And in the next exercise you have to underline the proper noun. Understood? Once you do these both exercises, the next one is you have to read the sentences, and I have already underlined the noun there. You have to identify whether it is a common or proper noun. If it is a common noun, you have to just write C. If it is a proper noun, you can write P. Okay, so this is just for your practice, so you are thorough with it. And in the next one, you have to specify only the proper noun. I have given the common noun, you have to write the proper noun for it. So for truck I have given Ford. Next is restaurant. You can write the restaurant that you like the most. You can write the name. You have to write the name of the restaurant. Then park, your favorite park. Girl, your friend. Teacher, your teacher's name you can write. Any teacher's name you can write. Then school, your school's name you can write. Store, all this you have I have given the common noun here. I didn't tell which school, which teacher. You have to give a name to it and make it a proper noun. I think you have got a clear idea now. So today, like we saw noun, tomorrow we are going to see adjective. So only when you are clear with the parts of the speech, your writing will be more specific. Okay children, so I think you have understood. Meet you tomorrow.